past, present, and future tenses. A verb can show when the action or state of being in a sentence takes place. Tense is the time expressed by the verb. Let's take a look at the chart below. First, we have the tense, and then the use, and then the example. Now, let's look at the present tense, and let's look at the use. So present tense tells us about something that is happening now. Now let's take a look at the example. The dog looks happy. The dog looks happy. It likes its owner. It likes its owner. Now, let's look at the past tense. The past tense tells us about something that happened in the past and is over now. Let's look at the example. John bought his dog in 2018. It was the only happy dog in the kennel. Action finished. Let's look at the future tense. Let's look at the use. Great. So, future tense tells us about something that will happen in the future. Example, John will buy another happy dog. John will buy one tomorrow. That's the future tense. Something that will happen in the future. So let's review. We have our present tense, which tells us about something that is happening now. And then our past tense, which tells us about something that happened in the past and is over now. And then our future tense, which tells us about something that will happen in the future. Let's move on to our next one. So, let's check our tense out. Let's check our verb. Let's check the rule. And then last but not least, the example. So now, let's look at our tense. Let's look at our simple present tense. And let's look at the verb. So, verbs with singular noun subject. Well, this is a verb with a singular noun subject as far as like he, she, or it. And then verb with plural noun subject. I, you, we, or they. Let's look at the rule, what governs these. So, we have our verb plus s or es. And with the verb with plural noun, we just have a verb. Let's look at the example. A dog eats bones. Some dogs fly high. I fly high. You fly high. Let's go check out the simple past. And let's look at the verb. So simple past takes most verbs, okay? And let's look at the rule. Well, we have the verb plus ed, or you drop the e and add ed. So let's go. For example, The dog jumped up for a doggy bone. The dog wagged its tail for a doggy bone. Well, in that case, I added an extra GED. Well, okay. Anyway, let's look at the simple future. All verbs. Will or shall plus verb. So, the dog will get a new toy today. As you see, the verb stays like in the get stays in the present, but it has the will, so it makes it future. So it keeps its present form. And then we shall see what new toy it gets. So as you see, see stays in the present, but we have shall, so that gives us the will, which makes it the future. So there you have it. So simple present, verb with singular noun, subject he, she, or it, usually takes an S or ES. And then verb with plural noun, subject I, you, we, or they, just stays the same. It doesn't take an S or ES. Simple past, most verbs, verb plus ED, or you drop the E and add ED. Simple future, all verbs, will or shall plus verb. So, let's move on. Strategy time. So, do not use the present tense when talking about something that occurred in the past. So, it would be incorrect to say, yesterday Jane tells me about a new candy. Yesterday Jane tells me about a new candy is incorrect, of course. What would make this, how would we correct this sentence? So, the correct sentence would be, yesterday Jane about a new candy. So, tells would turn into, what do you think? I would say, correct. Yesterday Jane told me about a new candy, a new type of candy. Yesterday Jane told me about a new candy. So let's move on. What we're going to do now, we're going to check your understanding. So you can take a break, you can stop, you can rewind this, you can play this back. We can always go back to the little boxes, our little verb tense boxes, and check it out before we move on. So I'll give you about like 2 seconds. 1, 2. All right, which sentence is correct? So, say the letter that identifies the tense of each of the underlined verb in each sentence. So, let's start. Ready, go. Dogs fight for doggy bones every day. Dogs fight for doggy bones every day. A, past tense. B, present tense. Or C, future tense. Dogs fight for doggy bones every day. And let's check. So, no wouldn't be past tense, and no wouldn't be future tense. And yes, if you chose B, present tense, dogs fight for doggy bones every day. There you go, very good. We're going to move on now. Say the letter that identifies the tense of the underlined verb in each sentence. Ready? Go. And we have John's dog ran off with the doggy biscuit. John's dog ran off with the doggy biscuit. And is it A, past tense, B, present tense, or C, future tense? Let's see, John's dog ran off with the doggy biscuit. And no, it wouldn't be present tense. And no, it wouldn't be future tense. So I guess the best answer would be, the best possible answer would be A, past tense. John's dog ran off with the doggy biscuit, ran being a past tense verb. Good job. Now we're going to choose the correct verb form. Ready, go. Now, John's dog now blank a monopoly over all of the doggy biscuits worldwide. John's dog now blank a monopoly over all of the doggy biscuits worldwide. Well, let's check the possible answers. We have A, has, B, have, or C, had. John's dog now a monopoly over all of the doggy biscuits worldwide. Our clue word would be now. So, let's check the possible answers. John's dog now. No, wouldn't be John's dog now have a monopoly. John's dog now had a monopoly? No. So, our best possible answer would be A. John's dog now has a monopoly over all of the doggy biscuits worldwide. Now being our clue word, now has. His dog now has a monopoly over all of the doggy biscuits worldwide. It's a lucky dog. Let's move on. Choose the correct verb form. John's dog, the doggy bone monopoly forever. John's dog, blank, the doggy bone monopoly forever. Forever is our clue word, forever. A, will rule. B, will ruled. Or C, will rules. John's dog, blank, the doggy bone monopoly forever. Let's check the possible answers. Ready? So, John's dog will ruled the doggy bone monopoly forever. No. John's dog will rules the doggy bone monopoly forever. No. Righto. A. John's dog will rule the doggy bone monopoly forever. John's dog will rule the doggy bone monopoly forever. Good job. And there you have it. And remember, a verb can show when the action or state of being in a sentence takes place. Tense is the time expressed by the verb. And remembering that, it's only half the battle. This video was brought to you by AmScEn. Check us out on the web at americanschoolofelenglish.info. And have a nice day, folks.